Hey, hi, Alaric. Nice to have you here. Okay, we understand that you have been traveling around the world for almost a year. Am I right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly a year.
oh, exactly a year. And of course, welcome back to Singapore, although it's only for a short while before you start to travel again. I
Mhm.
guess this time you were saying you'll be traveling to Southeast Asia.
Mhm.
Okay, great. But I'm very happy to see you back again. So here we have some questions on for you on your experience in overseas as well as your thoughts on doing a will, writing a will. Okay, so let's begin. So I would like to check. I want to ask you, what would be your most memorable experience you have encountered over this past 1 year?
So I just came back to Singapore. Just to give everyone a quick context, I was in United States for 2 months. I went to Silicon Valley and Texas, and then after that, I went to Ecuador for 3 months, and then Colombia for 1 month, Brazil for 3 months, Spain for 3 months, and I just came back to Singapore. Okay, so in Singapore for maybe a few more weeks, like 1 or 2 weeks, and then after that I'll be going to Malaysia to find my dad and my brother because they are living there, and then I will go to, like, for example, Korea, Japan, Australia, Taiwan, and then I'll travel through the whole of Eastern Europe. Okay, that's my plan. Okay, I don't know, like it might change anytime, but as of this interview, that's my plans.
Mm.
What's my most memorable experience? So every country gave me a very memorable experience. Okay, when I was in United States, going to Silicon Valley and meeting all these other startup entrepreneurs, all these startup investors was a very mind-opening experience, and it made me learn a lot about, like, hey, like there's a different side of business, not just the making money or making profit side, but also the valuation side of business.
Mm.
um, and then after I went to Texas. Texas is like the Silicon Hill. Silicon Valley is in California, right? And then the Silicon Hill. So Texas is an up and coming. It's like the next Silicon Valley, where people do business and all that. I went to United States mainly, uh, for an entrepreneurship program, Draper University, opened by this
Mm. Yeah.
billionaire venture capitalist called Tim Draper. And after I went to Ecuador for a spiritual retreat, and I learned a lot in that spiritual retreat as well. And I liked Ecuador. I liked how peaceful it was, so I stayed there. And then I like, time flies so fast. After a while, I was like, it's 3 months already. I didn't expect to stay in Ecuador for 3 months.
Mm.
And after Ecuador, I was like, okay, where should I go next? I wanted to go to Brazil, but I wanted to go. So I wanted to go to Brazil, but I decided to go to Colombia because Colombia is in between Brazil and Ecuador. So I go to Colombia
Okay.
first and then to Brazil. When I was in Colombia, it was quite dangerous. Okay, I didn't really like Colombia a lot. A lot of homeless people on the streets.
Mm.
I was there for 20 days, and in the 20 days, right, I've met more than 10 friends who got robbed in their life before. Okay, so
Wow.
like that's like in Singapore, I don't I've been in Singapore for like 20 something years. I almost don't know anyone who got robbed. Okay, but in Ecuador, I know more than 10 people got robbed. Okay, two of them are tourists and all that, and two of them got robbed in the 20 days that I was in there. Okay, so like Colombia was so dangerous, uh, which brings me to why I want to write a will and everything, which later I'll explain. And then after that, I went to Brazil. Brazil is less dangerous. I love Brazil a lot. One of my favorite countries. Cost of living is cheap. Uh, Ecuador has a cheaper cost of living. Like rent per month would be like $200 per month for a two-bedroom apartment or a
Yep.
two-bedroom landed house. Um, Brazil, you can get a 25 Sing dollars per month, which is about 100 Brazilian reals. You can get a hotel with a private jacuzzi, okay, per night. Yeah. And then I went to Spain. I enjoyed Spain a lot as well. I really like Europe. Good thing is that most of them speak English. And because like when I was in South America, most of them don't speak English. So I had to learn Spanish and Portuguese. So now I learn Spanish and Portuguese. How I learned it was I watched Netflix, right? English audio and Spanish subtitles. That's how I learned Spanish and Portuguese. Yeah, so that's what's memorable. And why did I write a will? Is because I saw the importance of, like, if let's say I'm traveling, okay, I don't know what will happen to me. Maybe I fly a plane crash or whatever, or let's say I don't know what will happen to me, right?
Mm.
So writing a will is kind of like a insurance, like, because I I I I, I might be young, but I have amassed a bit of wealth, okay, and I don't want, like, you see, if I pay a wheel, if I buy a wheel, okay, so I don't know how much, a few $100, right? But if that can save me a lot of money, right, it's definitely worth it to buy a wheel, like to get a wheel done. And because if I don't get a wheel done, my parents are not gonna know where, like, they don't know my bank account passwords. They're not gonna know where to access my money, right? They're not gonna know where to access my stocks, my investments, etc. So that's why I wrote a will. Okay. And the reason why I did it early, okay, the first reason is because I'm traveling and I don't know what will happen. Okay.
Yep.
When you're traveling, I think the risk is like 2 times compared to if I were to just stay in Singapore. Like, if more than 10 friends get rocked in Colombia, and I was in South America, which is not a very safe country, like, not a very not a very safe place, right? And then you don't know, like, maybe you get food poisoning, right? Or you like,
maybe you try those parachuting,
like, I did
and
skydiving, right? I went to California, I did skydiving. You never know what will happen, right? Maybe it's a 1% chance the parachute doesn't open or something, right? I want to try other things like bungee jumping and everything. So if I don't have a wheel done, I don't have the peace of mind, right? So I'm paying like $100, a few $100 to have peace of mind, right? And why did I do it so early? Is because, you see, whether I do it young or I do it old, it's still the same price, right? So I might as well do it young so that it covers me for, like, I have a wheel for more years of my life versus doing it later. And I don't know how late is, like, there are people who die at 30, there are people who die at 26. You never know. So it's a way of preserving wealth and managing risk. Yeah.
Yes, I totally agree with what you say, because it's never about the age. It's whether we plan early or not. And also the risk being involved. If let's say we were to plan later, sometimes from what I encounter, it may be too late. Maybe during the very critical part, they end any time for the person to pen out their last wishes, or even their mental state is not in the right mood, so they are not even able to do any will at all. Yeah, so I'm very, very, very really glad that we have done this part. Okay. I mean, during traveling, you're still thinking about getting this done, which is really, I feel very thankful and grateful that that you have gotten this part completed. At least you don't have to think about it, and you can move on. You can continue to travel around the world as long as you like, and yeah, and you're actually protecting yourself and your family, putting them at peace also. Okay, so the next question will be, to some people, right, they will think like, okay, writing a will is like a taboo. I don't want to talk about it at all. Okay, so what are your thoughts about it? Do you think it's a taboo?
So there's only two things that you cannot avoid in life: death and taxes, right? Like, everyone has to die someday, right? And it's almost 100%. I think 99.99999% of people die, right? So if we know that we're gonna die, then we have to have a will. Like, no matter how much of net worth you have, even if you got, okay, you see, to write a will costs less than $1,000, right? And if let's say you got more than $1,000, it makes sense to write a will, because if you don't write a will, your family won't know where to collect the $1,000, right? But if you write a will, it might be a few $100, but you're saving like, it's definitely a wise decision to write a will, in my opinion. And I think everyone should get a will done, no matter how old you are, no matter how yeah. And a lot of people think that, if I write my will now, and then what if I get more assets next time? Don't worry, like, your will, it's ever changing. If you get more assets or something, you can update the will. Yeah.
Yeah, it's how we weighed it, the consequences of having a will and or not having a will. Because, like, simply said, writing a will is just a few $100 compared to the assets that will be going to be distributed to the loved ones. It could be like, don't know, maybe 10,000 times more. Okay, so we never know. So in fact, just living a HDB alone costs easily, the valuation of the HDB easily is like, okay, we take the lowest, probably 300,000. Okay, versus writing a will, say I put at $300. So that's how many times. In fact, we should just write a will, pen down our wishes, who we want to give, to prevent any complication or implication or any dispute among all the family members. So it's a very wise choice that we start now to think about who we really want to give. Okay, and with regards to the assets wise, you're right also. Doesn't matter, of course, during along the time, our assets will grow. Okay, we may get an increment in pay. Okay, we may have more assets, cars, houses, etc. It doesn't matter as long as we upkeep the asset list, then it's fine. Okay, and if let's say there's any changes in terms of the executor or beneficiaries in the list, we can always redo the will. So yeah, so the thing is just do it. Don't hesitate anymore. Okay, so one more question is do you have any words for those out there who are still thinking whether they should get their will done, or even for those people who think like they don't need a will? Okay, what any advice that you would like to give them?
Yeah. So if you're living and breathing right now, definitely go and write a will. You know, I wrote my will when I was in Ecuador, and it was not and in order to get your will done, you need to get 2 witnesses to sign the will, right? And it was not easy for me to find 2 witnesses because I was traveling alone. So to find 2 witnesses who wouldn't find it weird to sign a will was not easy, you know. So that's why I took like 1 month to get my whole will, like to get my will signed and everything. And when I shipped my will back to from Colombia to Singapore, it cost $90 to ship 3 pieces of paper from Colombia to Ecuador, from Colombia to Singapore. Okay, so those of you who are in Singapore or those of you who are local, right, make sure you go and get your will done. And I didn't want to get my will done in Colombia because like doesn't make sense, right? So I wanted my will to be done in Singapore because all my assets are in Singapore. So wherever you are in the world, get your will done locally as soon as you can, so that you don't have to pay the shipping fee, right? And it's easy to find 2 witnesses. If in your own local, you can find 2 witnesses very, very easily. Okay, definitely go and get a will done, and work with Immelda, right? The reason why I worked with Immelda was because Immelda was my student in Facebook marketing, and she went for a few of my courses as well. And I trust her, and I knew I wanted to get a will done, and I was like, okay, who should I engage to get a will done? Obviously, I will engage someone in my community, and that's why I engaged Immelda. And Immelda has been super helpful. Like every time I need to update my asset list, she updates for free, right? And she's very detail oriented as well. She makes sure that every detail is in place. So definitely look for her when it comes to getting your will done. Yeah, Imelda, if you want to share your contact details or something, you can as well. Yeah.
Okay, sure. First of all, thank you very much, Alaric, for your kind words. Okay, thank you so much. And also, to highlight why Alaric did his will. I mean, he did his will, right? And why is he not keeping his will? Okay, and he's posting back to Singapore. Reason being, it doesn't make sense for him to keep the original will, because if anything happened to him, who is able to access his will? All right. So the best option is to mail the original will to Singapore, so that the executor whom he has appointed will have access to it. And touch wood, if anything happened to him, then the executor will be able to apply for the grant of probate and carry out the necessary duties needed and distribute according to his wishes in the will. Okay, so that's the reason why. So to sum it up, right, for those who have done up your will, do remember to update your executor where you have placed your will. Okay, because it's so important. I've talked to many people who have done the will, but yet they forgot to highlight this part to their executor, which means they don't even know where the will is being kept. It's as good as the will is not done, because they don't know where, they cannot locate, then how are they going to call in all the assets? Okay, so these are some of the things that we will highlight to our clients to make sure everything is in place. Whether or not they have done up their will, we will still do our due diligence to remind them. Okay, and also of the SOA thing, the scattered assets, we'll make sure everything is in place as well. So if let's say you want to find out more about planning for your will or doing lasting power of attorney, which is LPA, you can feel free to reach out to me at my contact number. Am I able to give my contact number here?
Yeah, you can, yeah.
Okay, sure. So you can reach out to me at my mobile, which is at 8938 1188. Okay.
Awesome.
And you can, if not, you can go to my Instagram at Immelda_AUG. IMMELDA_AUG.
Awesome.
That's about it, I guess.
Cool. All right. Thanks, Immelda. So
Thanks,
those of you
Alaric.
like no matter what, just at least talk to Immelda, right? And ask some questions. Find her from Instagram, IMMELDA_AUG, or her contact number. Okay. What's it again?
8938
8938 9188.
No, 8938 1188.
8938 1188. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. So make sure you're going and get your will done. It's definitely a good thing. And
Just to
yeah, I
find out
hope.
more, it doesn't hurt to find out more.
Yeah. So I hope you all learn something from this as well. Okay. All right. Take care, everyone.
A last
Yeah.
word, if you don't mind. So especially those who have minor children, I strongly encourage this group of people to understand more about doing a will, because doing a will is also for the sake of their young children, minor children. In the event both of them were to pass on together, then who will be the guardian for the children? So they need to take note of this. And that's why doing a will ease all the process and save a lot of time, hassle, and money for the family member. For the living, I would say doing a will is for the living, not just because we are already dead. What can we do? It's for the living. Okay, and also it's an act of love. All right. Yeah, that's the last word I want to pass the message to this group of people, especially.
Yeah, awesome.
you.
And it's also for peace of mind. Like after I did my will, I had a lot of peace of mind when I travel. I can do higher risk activities. If I don't have a will, I will not, like I won't have peace of mind. Okay.
Yeah, but
So
still be safe. Take care
yeah,
also.
take care, everyone. See you. Bye bye.
Yeah, take care. Bye.